Channel disclaimer. All tarot, oracle, divination, etc. readings on this channel is for informational purposes only. I am not responsible for any actions you take, make, or receive based on my readings. Thank you. Hey everybody, welcome to Solar Lioness Elite. I'm Solar Lioness and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. Okay, so I'm hyped because we have returned with our weekly Oracle reports. I made the announcement in my previous video, which was my love and romance pick a card reading. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. And yeah, I'm excited. So for this week, today is Sunday. First of all, happy Sunday. This week, I was drawn to use these three decks. The significance of these is due to the satisfaction of finally uploading that love and romance pick a card reading, and with the format that I used is now all out there now, and I hope you enjoyed it. I've seen quite a few people enjoy it and let me know and give me feedback, and I thank you so much for supporting my channel and supporting the pick a cards, and I'm glad that you got the messages that you needed. But anyway, due to the satisfaction from doing that, I said, you know what? How about this week for the weekly Torgo report? We're going to go within now, going within and focusing on self-love instead. So what you see right here, this is my, what's it called? These are my Journey of Love Oracle cards. These are my Archangel Raphael healing cards. I was called to use these. And this right here is my Astrology, the deck Oracle cards. So the messages we're going to focus on this week is all about self-love and healing. And of course, this will be pulled for the overall theme of this week. All right, ready? Let's go. Yes, y'all. Just jumping right into the reading. Jumping right into this thing. Jumping right into this. What's the message for the week that we need to know? Like, what are we focusing on for the week as far as our self-love and our inner work? Ideally, I would like 3 cards, but we're going to shuffle until one pops out, or that. Whew. F card flew all the way over there. Oh, wait, it's 2 cards. So we have self-initiation and sweet soul rising. Let's get one more. Oh, there you go. Shot right off the camera, but here it is. Becoming. You know what? This is so perfect, y'all. This is so perfect. Let's start with these 3. Did I not just say that this week we're going to be focusing on going within because of how great that love and romance reading went? Now it's time to go within. That reading was relationship with others. Now this is relationship with self. Here we have self-initiation. I really want y'all to focus on the artwork. The artwork resonates. The artwork means something too. Sweet soul rising and becoming. The message here from the Journey of Love Oracle deck is that this is a sweet reminder, a gentle reminder that you are on the path that you're meant to be on. You may have been dragging yourself. You may have been crucifying yourself. You may have been insulting yourself and downplaying yourself because the things that you've been doing may not have been up to your standards. And your standards can be very high, sometimes so high it can be unrealistic and very detrimental. Because it's good to have high standards for yourself. It's good to have high goals and high expectations for yourself. But don't make them so high that you damn sure can't reach it yourself. Like, that's craziness. And that's how you keep stress and anxiety on your neck and your back and your spirit and your heart and your soul. Like, don't do that. This is a reminder, if this resonates with you about how you are too hard on yourself, this is a reminder that you are just fine. Self-initiation. You took it upon yourself to put your own destiny into your own hands. and you've decided, listen, I want more out of my life than what I have right now. Yeah, I can have gratitude, but there's always something I can reach for something else. Like there's always the next level that I'm reaching for. And I get that. But again, these cards serve as a reminder to appreciate what you have. Why? Because self initiation. You did that. You took that first step. You took your destiny and your life path into your own hands, and now, sweet soul rising, you are reaping the benefits from this. You may feel it internally. It may be shown externally. And if it's not apparent to you, then it's definitely apparent to people that's around you. You may have been getting more compliments. You may have been presented with more opportunities than you ever have been before. Whether it's somebody offering you a job, somebody want to collaborate with you, or somebody's offering you an exclusive spot somewhere, or someone's inviting you to a event where you can network in your field and get to know other folks. Things like that. Like doors are opening to you. That's sweet soul rising. Oh, and like I said, because you may have those high expectations of yourself and you're dragging yourself and everything, you may not see that your sweet soul is rising. You may not see it. You may not see it. You may not even realize it. That's why I'm here to tell you and let you know. Now going back to the self-initiation card, there are some of you who have started on the path, and there may be some of you who haven't started yet. If you haven't quite started, you've been hesitant to take, life by the reins and guide your own destiny and, take responsibility, not really responsibility, but just claim and own your own truth and your own life. Well, this message is for you to start. It starts with you. There is no external factors that can really give you the jump start that you need. I mean, there's people that can inspire and things like that, but at the end of the day, those can serve as catalysts, but the actual start is for you to start. So again, self-initiation. This is split into two ways: the folks who have started and the folks who are thinking about starting, but there's some hesitation. Well, here's the message for you to go ahead and start. Why? Because the next card is Sweet Soul Rising. So whether you're on the path, like you started already, or you haven't, just know that the outcome is the same in both instances, whichever one applies to you. Opportunities are here for you. Opportunities are opening for you. And look at this image right here. This figure, she's resonating a bright light as she's following her destiny. She's finally, after the self initiation, like that insight, that decision. It's all a matter of making up your mind. After that decision to initiate yourself into your own life, self initiation, and I'm not talking about initiating yourself in any particular spiritual house or faith. I'm talking about to initiate yourself, introducing yourself into the rest of your life and the purpose that you will serve, because you do have a purpose. We all do. As I was saying, you can see the light resonating off of her, and you can see her reaching for the stars, literally reaching for that destiny. See that light shining off to the side? That's where she's headed. That's where you're headed. All because you decided to live for yourself and do what was best for you and do what's in your best interest and what serves your spirit the most and your purpose. Whether you know exactly what that purpose is or not, yes. So, the outcome is the becoming. This is just the beginning. I just heard that. I just heard those words. This is just the beginning. Because again, this is a weekly oracle. That's just for this week alone. Now, you may be coming to this weekly oracle smack dab in the middle of changes in your life. And this could be the message that you needed. But regardless, this is a to be continued. Because again, this is only covering this week. Becoming, this is to be continued. Like, this is what's happening now, leading up to that cliffhanger. Oh, I don't really want to say cliffhanger, but that's kind of what it is. Think of your favorite TV show that comes on like once a week. Like this weekly oracle, it comes once a week. So this is the episode. Bam, bam, becoming, to be continued. You know, it's up to you to keep moving forward and keep moving forward. And then again, once those opportunities start opening up to you, start to see like, wow, this is playing out for me. That's playing out for me. What's going to happen next? And then that is becoming, meaning you are finally, or you will be, either you are already or you will be, finally stepping into the person that you're meant to be. And it feels so good. The becoming card is to acknowledge that progress. So if you are dragging yourself, if you are full of anxiety, trust me, I'll be going through it. So I am talking to myself too while I'm talking to y'all. Don't get it twisted. It ain't perfect over here. Like it ain't. So if you are full of anxiety, if you're full of oh shoulda woulda couldas or how things are supposed to be and da 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 da, stop. Give yourself credit. Understand that you are like it's coming. It's happening. It's coming, and it's happening. And it's just that spirit wants you to be aware of that. We're pointing this out to you. Spirit is pointing it out to you. Listen. You are headed in the right direction. You are on the path. You are growing. You are becoming. We just need you to acknowledge that. And that basically the point of this is for you to take it easy on yourself and to balance out. You know, don't push yourself so hard. Don't be so mean to yourself. Give yourself grace. I'm always told that. Give yourself grace. So yes, give yourself grace. You have to. There's too much going on in this world as it is. And this is the journey of love. It's okay to love yourself. It's okay to be proud of yourself. It's okay to acknowledge your accomplishments, no matter how big or small they are. Regardless, it's a step forward on your path in your life because nobody else has this life but you. Even if somebody was in the same, born in the same day, at the same time, in the same hospital or birth center, it doesn't matter. You two are two different people with two different destinies, regardless. There may be some similarities, but you're still you and they're still them. So it's like nobody can live your life like you but you, right? Understand this. It's okay to pat yourself on the back. It's okay to take a break. It's okay. It's okay to acknowledge yourself because if you don't acknowledge yourself and your accomplishments, no matter how big or small, who's going to do it? And even if you haven't been and people's coming up to you and, because you're showing your outer glow and everything, that doesn't necessarily always happen. So whether it happens or not, you still need to have yourself first. You need to have your own back first. You need to cheer for yourself first. Okay? Now that's the message that's from these Journey of Love cards. Let's move on to the next deck. But wait. Before I move on to this deck, the health cards, this quote just popped into my head. The Dr. Seuss quote, which is, "Today you are you, that is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you." Okay? That's the sum of all this. Today you are you, that is truer than true. There is no one alive who was youer than you. Own that. Whoever you are. Own that. Now, let's move on to the next deck. So, also on top of the self-love and inner reflections and things and spiritual growth and everything, we have our physical health. Physical health is what I'm being drawn to pull on. So let's do just that. Ideally, let's try for another 3 cards, but it'll be whatever messages that we need. That could be more than 3 cards, but I'm going to aim for 3 cards. So let's see what the healing cards from the who's Ralph? Archangel Raphael card say. So health healing message for this week. Children. Healing. What is the healing focus for this week? the healing focus for this week? Oop. Those are two, right? Let's bring that right here. I done bumped into this thing. We have sunlight and recovery. So, excuse me. Got me bumping into stuff. Children, sunlight, and recovery. So the cards that we have here from the Archangel Raphael is children, sunlight, and recovery. This is for folks who have children. If you have children, or if you have children who are in your life, there may have been some difficulties that you are facing. As far as how do you interact with the children, you may have ran into some walls. You may have some turbulence going on between you, and you just may feel out of sorts or at odds with your children, or you may be feeling at odds about the way you parent or the way you relate to these children. The message right here is to let you know that, listen, we all have bumps and hiccups in our interactions with others, because at the end of the day, children are still people. No matter how old or young the child is, they're still a person with their own thoughts and feelings and inner world. Oh my God, there's a fly down here. The Archangel Raphael Oracle is letting you know that it's okay to get frustrated and feel how you feel when it comes to interacting with children, because listen, everybody got their own isms. But just know that that doesn't make you a bad parent for feeling how you feel, or doesn't make you a bad person for having an off day. Everybody has off days. But the message here, if you haven't been at odds with the children, is to pay more attention to them. But for those of you who have children or have children in your life, pay more attention to them. Play more, interact more. You might have been so caught up in your everyday life, in your business, in your work, that the children may have, I don't want to just, so dramatic. I don't want to say fall to the wayside, because imagine a child, how does a child fall to the wayside? Like, what does that look like? A child falling to the wayside. I don't want to say they're falling to the wayside, but it's just more so, okay, the focus is on them so much. Again, I said everyone has their own little inner world and their isms, and it may not be apparent to you, just in case you're not at odds with the children. If everything is appearing to be fine, you may not be aware of how you just might need to pay a little bit more attention, or just talk to them a little more, interact with them a little more, find out how they're feeling, what they're doing, what they're thinking, and do some things with them. Sunlight, as you all know, we just started Libra season, and our fall/autumn equinox. And so the light is starting to slowly fade away. So this message is for you to get sunlight while you still can, while the weather is still somewhat fair, in the 70s and everything, nice cozy type temperatures. We get ready to pull out our sweaters and our cute fall wardrobe and everything. And everybody's back in school, in the midst of the madness that we have going on in this world. Yes, it's good for you to still get some sunlight. Absorb all of the nutrients from the sunlight that you can, because the sunlight is very beneficial, especially if you're Black. And most likely my audience is usually Black. So the sunlight is especially good for us. Soak in as much sunlight as you can. But universally for everybody, sunlight helps your mood and everything. Just look at the sunlight. Don't let even though summer's over, don't let these final warm days pass you by like, oh, well, it's over. Summer's over. That means you're not going back outside. No, sunlight is still very much important. It's still nice out there. Get you some sunlight. You might need some sunlight. You might have been caught inside for too long. You might be working in an office somewhere, or working from at home, or whatever the case may be. Whatever it is, you might have been, oh my God, this fly's getting on my nerves. Whatever it is, you may have been inside for too long and not soaking up enough sunlight. And along with sunlight comes fresh air. So I also see water and trees and air, basically the elements: earth, wind, fire, water. Sunlight is the fire, sitting by the water is the water, the wind is the air, and the trees and everything around you is the earth. So maybe you can go to a nice park, maybe you can sit by the water if you're able to. But the most important thing is to get out and get some sunlight. Matter of fact, tying it back into this children's card, maybe you can take your children to the park. Maybe you can go to the playground, get some sunlight together while you can. sit on the bench together, lay on a blanket together when it's very warm still, get in a car and drive somewhere. And last but not least, we have the recovery card. So again, the energy here is a focus on self, a focus on your own wellness, the focus on your holistic well-being. So that's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and soulfully. You may be cleaning up how you eat. You may be cleaning up your lifestyle. You may be incorporating things tailored to your body and your health. You might be going to the gym again or getting some exercise. You may be doing yoga. You might be riding a bike. You might be walking or running, swimming. Part of the self initiation is not just the spiritual, but all these things encompass what it is to love yourself and to honor yourself and to do what's best for yourself. So that goes for the relationship you have with your children, the relationship you have with your mate, if you have one, and children, if you have one, like I said. Sunlight, getting the last, bit of that energizing energy, the last bit of that energizing light before it starts getting dark at like 3 p.m. Like, I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean. It starts getting dark at like 4:30, 5. It gets dark so early as we move further and further away from the sun, as we move through the fall and into the winter. This is showing you taking control of some bad habits that you may have had, whether you recently let them go or you're thinking about letting them go, you're about to let them go. You may have quit smoking. You may have slowed down on drinking alcohol. You may have cut back on some of those unhealthy snacks. Again, any step is good. You might have gone cold turkey for all of it, or you might just be down it back. No matter how you did it, that's part of your recovery, and that's all that matters. You did that. You took that step. Or if you haven't done it yet, you're about to. It's showing the outcome of this. When you make sure that your life is balanced in all ways, and only you will know exactly what it means to be balanced. Like, what does balance look like for you? Having equally enough time for your family and yourself, giving yourself credit for the things that you've done, but still making realistic and reasonable plans and goals for the near future and distant future. And see, the recovery and becoming card to me are related, one and the same, really. It's a state of existence, it's a state of being. It's not something that is external, if that makes sense. It's an inner satisfaction that you get from knowing that you were putting in the work, acknowledging that you were putting in the work, as long as you do, anyway. Because slacking ain't it. Slacking ain't it. Knowing that you're doing what it takes to change your mindset, knowing that you're doing what it takes to change your spirit, knowing that you're doing that shadow work. Because shadow work is going to keep coming up. Shadow work is going to keep coming up because it's an ongoing process, especially if you're in the range and in the age of going through your Saturn return. This is Libra season, and Libra's most basic representation is balance. That's the most basic representation. Ruled by Venus, pleasure, beauty, the arts, things that are aesthetically pleasing, things that what brings you joy? What things bring you joy? Whenever you're feeling that anxiety, just think about the things that bring you joy and pleasure, things that genuinely make you happy. That's all. That's going to always be another recurring theme too, because that's how you negate the anxiety or neutralize it. Bring yourself back to reality. Ground yourself in what you're doing right now, whether that is playing a piano, crafting things with your hands, and focusing on the material of what you're making, whether you make jewelry, whether you like to crochet or needlepoint or whatever. I don't know why those particular crafts are popping into my mind, but things like that. You got to give yourself credit because the outcome is so lovely. And if you don't have children, this could be speaking to the inner child, the child that's inside of you, your inner child that needs healing, your inner child that needs tending to. So it could be your literal children, your own children, whether they're biologically yours or not, or it could be indicating your inner child because all of this is part of the healing process. And that also ties into your shadow work, healing your inner child. You're doing good. You're doing great. Now, let's move on to the final card of this week's oracle reading. Now we have the astrology, the deck. Yes. So I might have mentioned this before in a previous video, but these cards are still relatively brand new. Yes, I got them. Was it last year? Yeah, last year. I still didn't do many readings with these, so still getting into the groove of these. But I want to get one card from this so we can understand the overall theme to tie this all up into what are you working on? What are you focusing on for this week? Let's just get one card that's an overall theme to tie everything up together, like tie this all up in a nice, neat bow. Here we go. Sheesh. The CEO, Capricorn energy. The CEO. Now, let's look at these keywords. We got driven, stability, patience, persistence, materialistic, ambitious, cautious, practical, traditional, workaholic, detached, and ruler of the 10th house. So what's coming to me intuitively and what I'm hearing and sensing is, remember what I said back here for the Sweet Soul Rising card? And how all these new opportunities are coming your way. Did I not mention that? Did I not say that? As you radiate this aura because of the fact that you initiated yourself into your life and you're making these inner changes and outer changes and everything, working on yourself, or you're about to, or you just made that decision, the trajectory of things that you attract comes in an instant. All you gotta do is change your mind and decide. And that's the first step in making a difference. Well, when I said you will be attracting opportunities, whether somebody want to work with you, collaborate with you, or somebody wants to invite you to like exclusive events for networking and connecting with people that's in your field or in your lane or someone that would mesh well with you. Well, look, here we go. CEO. The CEO. Okay. That's not a joke right there. So I would say the focus for this week, if you have a passion, if you have a business of any sort, or if there's something that you want to share with the world, it doesn't necessarily have to be a whole business. You could be a writer. You might want to publish a poem, or you might want to publish an article or something. Anything that is yours that you want to share this week, you want to focus on getting it out there. Start finding ways to get it out there. Start brainstorming ways to get it out there. Now, listen, at the time of this recording, it is currently basically Mercury Retrograde. Mercury Retrograde is upon us. Okay? Basically. So you might want to be careful about initiating new things. However, even if you don't just go full out and just running out there and throwing stuff out there because, Mercury Retrograde, things slow down and everything, it goes back to how I said we're going within. And that's kind of the purpose of Mercury Retrograde. It's about going within and reflecting on things, et cetera, et cetera. Proceed with caution. But if you want to take it to that way, just go within and start to brainstorm and start to plan ways you want to have this rollout of sharing your gifts with the world or making connections and networking and building your, oh, what's it called? I can't think of the word. What's the word? It's not network. Well, basically building a network. Okay. It was another word I was trying to think of. Connections, contacts. I can't think of the exact word, but basically, you might want to focus on that. If you do have a business or a specialized field that you want to work in or you want to publish things in, think about who your target audience is and how you're going to get your message across to them. How will you reach them? Yes, we have this social media, but don't forget, we also always have word of mouth. Word of mouth is king around here. Word of mouth, word of fingers, whatever you want to call it. When people type their reviews and things like that, find a way you're going to spread your presentation to everybody. Like, how are you going to, whether you have an emailing list, whether you also have a YouTube channel, whether you go on lives, or whether you post on Instagram, or whether you have a street team. I don't know if people use that term anymore, but like a street team, when people used to be out in the actual street, like connecting in person. Might have the format might have changed a bit, but you know what I mean. Whether it's just you, just sit and brainstorm and write things down and plan. If you want to be careful about the Mercury retrograde, you're not ready to put anything out there just yet. It's fine, but at least start planning because Sweet Soul Rising, you're being charged up. Like just from switching over and activating yourself in the self initiation, it's like you're charging up. It's like if you're playing a video game and you're like charging up an attack, and you got to press a specific button, and then like the bar like fills up, and then you release it, and then the attack is like like that. Yeah, so you're basically charging yourself up, like you're preparing yourself to fill up your bar, release the button, and then you just like release that attack out into the world. But the attack would be your business, your product, your thing, whatever it is that you want to share, whether it's your writing, whether it's your creative endeavors, whether it's your business plan, whether it's, whatever services, products, services, things, connecting with other people, networking, whatever it is, that's what it's going to be. And it will be great. This is the overall theme. So this week, as you continue to work within, brainstorm how you're going to prepare yourself for this rollout. You could be writing a business plan, a proposal, you could be writing a grant, anything. It's the planning stages. Okay. And that is the message for this week for our weekly Torgal report. And even though I didn't use tarot, it's still a Torgal report because, if you don't know, Torgal is my own word. Tarot, oracle, blended together. Torgal, bam. Okay. I hope you got a message that resonated with you. If you did, that's great. If you didn't, that's fine. And please, if anything resonated at all, let me know in the comments below or hit me up on social media and let me know, like, hey, Solar, listen, you was on point with this. Let me tell you, this applied, that applied, or yeah, Solar, I enjoyed the video. I didn't really get any messages this time, but I did share it with X, Y, and Z. I did share it with my friend, or I shared it with them instead, and they said that it resonated. Either way, whatever feedback that you feel like you want to share is much appreciated. So that's that, y'all. I wasn't rambling too much, was I? Well, then I get right to the point. So please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, y'all. I appreciate each and every one of you. I see my subscribers going up every day. I love it. I love y'all, and thank you. Also, if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, feel free to check my description box below. There you'll find a link that goes straight to my website. You can pick and choose from what type of reading that you want. So yeah, I feel good, y'all. Like, it's a happy Sunday. I feel so energized. I hope that you feel the same. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. And that's it. So until next time, you guys, peace and enjoy. Thank you so much.